What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back for another video, and today we're going to be looking at some more NHL trade rumors, and it has to do with Nikita Zaitsev. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this, but people seem to really like the videos, and I really enjoy making them, so I figure I'll just keep updating it, and if there's not a ton of information on a certain subject, I won't talk about it. But in this case, there's a couple things that I wanted to discuss. And I mean, I'm going to get right into it because this is about Nikita Zaitsev and the Vancouver Canucks. Now, we've heard, obviously, you guys have heard it on this channel. If you're new, make sure to subscribe because I am talking a ton about trade rumors and a lot about the Leafs as well. But all teams got tons of videos coming out. This month is going to be super busy with all the trade rumors. So, anyways, we heard Elliotte Friedman talking about, obviously, Toronto and Zaitsev working on a deal for them to both have a fresh start, with Toronto looking for another defenseman and Zaitsev looking for a fresh start with another team. And that sparked a conversation right off the bat. But Rick Dhaliwal, a guy who is from Sportsnet 650 from Vancouver, I've definitely seen his work and listened to him. He's part of the starting lineup in Vancouver on Sportsnet 650. And, you know, I was like, okay, you know what, his tweets, like, he's really talking about a lot about Vancouver, and I wanted to get that side of it. I really wanted to know, okay, like, what do the Canucks think about this? So I actually contacted Rick Dhaliwal. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys would see I actually asked him, and he was really nice enough to message back and forth with me on Twitter, so I could ask him a few questions about Nikita Zaitsev and whether or not the Canucks were really interested in stuff like that. And like I said, he was super nice about it. So if you guys do not follow him, Rick Dhaliwal, make sure to go and follow him on Twitter. And especially if you're a Canucks fan, you probably already know who he is. And a ton of you probably already know who he is. And he does great work. And hopefully you guys will go and follow him on Twitter. And if you follow me as well, you can see I message or I send him a tweet, so you can click there and follow him. He's got a lot of good info. So his first tweet, though, that he sparked a little interest in people, was saying that the Canucks were busy working the phones on the trade market, and that they expect oh my goodness, I can't speak English today, but they checked in on Nikita Zaitsev, and of course he's getting a lot of interest, and that's what Rick Dhaliwal was saying. So right off the bat, I was just like, okay, you know, this is really interesting. And he continued to tweet about it because a lot of people were wondering, you know, how close maybe something like this would be, or if the Canucks were like super interested. He updated it following up with another tweet saying that, source, the Canucks' interest is high in Zaitsev, but do they have what Toronto would take back? Could a deal happen? Yes, it's possible, but not there yet. So if we're talking about Nikita Zaitsev, we have to be a little honest here. His defensive numbers aren't exactly where you'd want them to be. He's not your stereotypical, you know, first or second pairing defensive defenseman lockdown type of guy. But in the playoffs, him and Jake Muzzin logged a lot of minutes together, and they looked pretty good. And I've mentioned that before. While Nikita Zaitsev isn't the best option, he is a top 4 option for the Leafs because they needed guys to chew up minutes. And going into this season even, you know, with Dermott being hurt, Gardner and Hainsey likely both being gone, although they've been talking about bringing Hainsey back on a 1-year deal, which I am not very happy about, but if that's what happens, it happens. Nikita Zaitsev chews up a lot of minutes in that top 4, and, you know, he's only 27, and, you know, he's a right-handed shot, and a lot of teams could be looking for that. Now, I'd also like to mention that Bob McKenzie and even Elliotte Friedman have both discussed that while his cap hit is $4.5 million, you have to look at it this way. He is still, like, getting paid kind of what a market 27-year-old in that market, like what he would actually get for being a right-handed shot defenseman, 27, but he doesn't put up a lot of points. And for me, still, that to me seems like a bit of an overpayment still, but they're saying like he's still in the ballpark of what you would expect him to get paid. So moving on to the information that I was able to get from Rick Dhaliwal, and again, I just want to express this like as much as I can, guys. Don't take this as, okay, the deal's happening just because there's inside information that the Leafs and the Canucks are talking. This doesn't mean that this is a done deal. It's just the fact that there is a discussion. So I asked some questions, and out of respect to Rick, I'm not just going to post our DMs online, but just know I did speak with him on DMs, and I really do appreciate his time. If he is watching this, I do appreciate you, and you do great work, so thank you very much. But basically what I just asked was regarding the Zaitsev rumor, like what was the chances that he would get moved to Vancouver, what's the latest on it, and what would the trade kind of look like from his point of view. So he was basically just discussing the fact that because the Canucks have missed the playoffs for 4 straight years, that they're one of the more active teams out there, which is something that all of us probably expected. And with so many rumors lately, he decided to figure out if the Canucks had called on Zaitsev, and they do have interest in Zaitsev, and of course they did call. And he doesn't have any details, and I wanted to bring this up to you guys because until we hear something else, there is no details on which players will be going back and forth. If the Leafs, you know, are looking for it just to be salary going one way and not taking anything back, looking for a draft pick or whatever. And he just said he was told that if the Canucks and Leafs were talking, and that it could possibly happen. And I said, I just asked him again, like, do you think that, like, what would you think, like, your percentage on the deal happening? And he said, tough to say. There's definitely talks taking place, and that he was told that a deal is to be had if they can agree. So it looks like they are at least, you know, discussing further than just a quick phone call. And I also asked him about Zaitsev's bonus, because Zaitsev does get a bonus on July 1st, and he also has like a no-trade clause that kicks in. And I said, do you think that this deal would take place now or after July 1st? And he said, and again, don't take this 100% because this is just speculation, and I don't want you guys going and attacking him on Twitter or anything like that, because any little bit of information, people run with it like crazy. He said he thinks it, at first he said he thought maybe after July 1st, but he said the Canucks' interest is high. He said it sounded like the Canucks' interest is high, so it could be sooner than that. So again, take that with a grain of salt. Do not go out there and start reporting that he is saying 100% that, oh, the Canucks are real high on this guy. It just sounds like the Canucks' interest is high and that it could happen sooner than July 1st, because I think the Leafs really need to clear out cap, and if that's what they're doing, then maybe this is something that happens sooner. And again, I appreciate Rick for answering those questions for me, because this is something that's just popped up, and I thought, okay, let me see if I can get some info on there. And I think that this is perfect because it shows that, one, they are at least talking, and two, that it's not like crazy deep into talks, and that it's like almost, you know, happening right before our eyes, unless, you know, something happens as I'm recording this video. But it seems at least the Canucks and Leafs are past just a general phone call. It looks like they've actually had a little bit of discussion, because he thinks that the Canucks' interest is high. So I kind of wanted to just update that. People asked me to keep making videos whenever updates were coming, and again, I appreciate Rick Dhaliwal for answering those questions for me and answering those questions for you guys, because it's questions I get all the time. And again, I love the Leafs. I love talking about the Leafs, but there's going to be a ton of videos on every team on this channel regarding rumors. And I mean, by this time, you've probably seen them because I'm uploading like crazy lately. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Let's get to 6,000 subscribers. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have come aboard. Make sure to follow me on all of my social media down below. Check out everything. Follow Rick Dhaliwal on Twitter, and make sure you listen to him on Sportsnet 650 Vancouver. You can listen to it online, and if you're from Vancouver, I mean, you've got a little bit of the edge there, because you can listen to them live all the time on the radio. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.